Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your A show and feel the power. It's a new year. Yes, it is. The A show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the A Show. Happy New Year's. We're pleased to be joined again with my former co-host, Colin Wysong, and Big Ray Hernandez, my producer and co-host. Welcome, everybody coming in. And today we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. So we're going to talk about one of the, how to, it's New Year's. We want to start the year off right and kind of positive, along with being realistic. So we're going to talk about how to connect with your values and doing a little test on how to find out exactly what your values are. We might touch upon some actual real gym rules, not the ones where you just carry a towel around and wipe things off. We're going to talk about an esoteric theory that might just blow your mind. We're going to talk about, and we might touch upon we are going to touch upon the raging debate that is going on right now with the current events in sports. So, which is part of the reason why Colin has asked to join us. So, without further ado, shall we get started? I thought I would start with a really interesting New Year's Eve fact, a fun fact.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you how your New Year's was, and Colin, everybody like that. Yeah.
We can. I just want to let you guys know that all that confetti that falls in New York.
Yeah. It's toilet paper?
No, there's secret messages on all of it.
Get out of here.
Yeah, there's messages printed on all of it. They are people's wishes.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've heard that before, but I didn't know that.
I don't know. I love that. I think that's so great.
How is it that I've lived in New York 46 years and I've never seen not one message? Is it like the leftover stuff in the fortune cookies?
I don't know. But I thought that was really cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hi to everybody. Hey, Wolvers. Hey, AB Twitch. Cool, awesome dude. Hey, Steve. Hello, Canada Spaceman. War Demon. What's up? Hello, Alexa. Hi. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. So, how was your New Year, you guys?
You go, Colin. Because
my New Year was great. I rang in the New Year at work watching the national championship game. But other than that, we talked about Easter. Oh, well, I saw you guys for the Christmas episode, and I got to take my kids back to see their grandparents, which, one is he's here at the palatial estate.
Oh, God.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Say hi. All right.
Hi.
You gotta go now.
How are you?
Go play.
Good. You good?
Yeah,
those are dinosaurs on this.
Dinosaurs on his shirt. He looks like he's got some he's got a gold coin here. It's like it's a silver dollar.
It just actually disappeared and looked like
hold it up to your face. Hold it up to your forehead. To your forehead.
Right, yeah.
Move it to your forehead. There you go.
Yeah.
Not over here where you can't see it.
Oh, who's
it's
that?
Like the makeup tutorials.
Who's that? President Clinton?
No, that's JFK.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay, why not?
So hello, Lore Orr. Welcome.
How was your New Year's, Ray? You're in New York. You're in the epicenter of New Year's Eve fun and everything, and it's hard to believe that you haven't seen any of this confetti on the ground, or you've never been to Times Square in all your years of living in New York.
I have absolutely no desire, none whatsoever, to go to Times Square. I don't like being around too many people unless I'm rooting for a baseball team or a football team or a basketball team. I actually get and I'm not like this all the time, but I get like physically angry. Like, I don't want people in my space unless, it's my wife rubbing her boobs on me. Other than that, or my mom. My mom is fine.
Your mom rubbing her boobs on you? What?
Well, that's pretty
odd.
disgusting. But my mom is fine. My son can hug me. Mm-hmm. My ex-wife can go take a hike. And Colin, if you ever fucking put your lips on my cheek again, I'm gonna punch you right in the throat.
Okay. Now, I have heard though that when people do go down to watch the New Year's special, that some people have to wear like adult diapers and things like that because they're down there
Yeah.
for 12 to 13 hours and you're in that crowd of people. So once you're in the mass,
That's a fact.
there's no getting out.
No.
And if you try to get out, there's really no getting back in.
Okay, that sounds just terrible.
That's what they
that's
do.
awful.
You know, like I always thought to myself, one time I was in my 20s and I was thinking about going, right, guys? And I said to myself, but I pee a lot.
Yeah, me too. I got to the point where I'm starting to take like a shiwi with me to like deal with porta pots.
Who's that?
It's the like female thing where you can it cups your it cups your lady junk.
I've seen that.
You can not have to sit down and gather all your skirts and try and balance your purse and all that other stuff, which something inevitably ends up in something gross.
Oh.
So you can stand up and wee. It kind of shoots it where you guys get to go. So yeah, it's a shiwi.
Okay, that works. But here's the thing: whether you have the shiwi or not, you can't just whip your gimmick out and just go in front of the cops that are standing there.
No, not there. You can't.
You know, is that it?
Yes, that's it. That is a what do they call them there? I call it a shiwi. So
This is great. You know what, Colin? Can you do all this stuff today?
I will be your backup.
You could
producer here.
subtly slide it down your pants and some of them have a tube, and then you could just connect a water bottle to the
Well, I'll
other
do that
end.
anyway.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, women are getting very equal rights thing about the pee-peeing. We're moving on up
Yeah. Well, I'm
to
still,
the peeing outdoors.
I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of
Boobies.
And A. Braithwaite, J. Hall, welcome. It's nice to see you guys joining us. So here, I wanted to throw some stuff by you guys just for fun, and also say something too in the beginning. By the way, if you hear plates breaking in Denmark on New Year's Eve, it's considered good luck.
Yeah.
So anytime you break a plate, of course, in the restaurant business, we clap, right?
Sure.
So I would say we, because that's how I started out in the restaurant business. We clap. So good luck. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who sent something off my Amazon wish list. I appreciate it so much. It was nice to have something to open on Christmas morning, or I went through my email a couple of days later and found some things. So it was very heartwarming. Thank you. I appreciate being appreciated, and I appreciate being thought of. So thank you.
That's weird.
And,
I didn't get any. Did you get anything, Colin?
No, I didn't get anything.
You
I know
guys have families.
You got cookies, Ray.
Yeah, you got cookies. I saw that.
You got cookies, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what
And
you're talking
April, my mom, she enjoyed the candles. She loves the scents,
yeah.
and she was in love with the soap, the fall soap that was in there. She kept
okay.
smelling it every time she was like lifting it up. She's like, "Oh my god, it smells so good."
Guys, legit. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You're good.
So-
So over Christmas break, April, as you were talking about your fun facts of New Year's and everything,
Mhm.
we went to the local museum in Gastonia,
Mhm.
and they have a planetarium. And one of the shows was New Year's and
Mhm.
Christmas and everything, and kind of the celebrations all over the world. So that we had to leave a little early because my 2-year-old's not quite at that age where he can sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes and watch something. But they showed kind of the different celebrations, like the one where it's the horse head, where they go to the people's house with the horse head. They talked about that, and they talked about some other celebrations that they do over in Europe. It was really, really cool to see. So if you have a chance, go to your local planetarium and see if they have
Oh, so
different
you
little
know a
shows
lot
like
of
that.
these. You
Some
know,
of
like-
them, yes.
Like
Some
the
of them
Pope.
probably.
The Pope started the New Year's thing.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I guess the Pope started. Let's see, where does that one? He started our New Year tradition on January 1st. The Gregorian calendar was introduced in October of 1582 by Pope Gregory. It's funny how I named the Gregorian calendar after himself. As a revised version of the Julian calendar. It took almost 350 years for the world to get on board. Oh, we shouldn't feel so bad about the awakening being so slow, I suppose. 350 years, wow. And Turkey didn't make the switch until 1927.
Yeah, New Year's is overrated. Is it just me, guys?
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
So-
Like, all right, can I just tell you though that my wife did the sweetest thing? April.
You got a blowjob?
Well, yeah. You want to give her a call and tell her to send one my way?
You just said the sweetest thing. I'm like, hey.
Well, I mean, so I get off of work at 12, My boss was nice. He was like, "Yo, Ray, go home, an hour early." I'm like, "Oh shit, I still might. I live in Brooklyn, so that's a pretty long ride." Long story short, my wife shows up to work at my job from Brooklyn. So she came home. She was off. She came to my job an hour and 15 minutes early to make sure that we will be together no matter what.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Right, and I got no blowjob.
Oh, that's okay though. You guys were together.
Right. So
That's so sweet. I love it.
Colin's like, I got a blowjob. You son of a.
And
Ay, cabrón. Oh.
and War Demon, thank you. He said his mom loved the banana cream cookie candle. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. That's one of my favorites. Banana cream cookie. So, and by the way, my friend Jay Fife, he's just an amazing artist. He made these for me, and I just literally got them. So.
Oh, that is dope.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, his company decided they want to do exclusive collectible enamel pins.
Dude, that is really, that's nice.
And they're big. I was just like, oh my God, they're like.
I like the picture of you in the back having an orgasm. That's cool.
It was actually a fitness picture, but hey, yeah, he chose that. But I was like, I'll have these
sure he
available.
did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did too. I was like, oh my God, could you pick something else? But
it's like you're holding a sword and this thing. And then
I know. I'm like, why would you? Okay, hey, whatever. So
sex sells, guys. Come on, sex
sell.
sells.
Sure does, man.
But yes, I will have those available for anybody who might want one soon. So thought I would mention that.
That's
so
really cool. Love it.
I know. I always wanted my own action figure. It's the next best thing. My own enamel pin. So.
You work your way up. You enamel pin. You probably had some stickers. Now you're enamel.
I do have
pin,
stickers.
and we'll get you like an April Hunter micro brawler.
No, dude.
PWTs, if you're listening, you get the micro brawlers, and then we get you to the action figure, and then we get the April Hunter video game.
What's the thing that you collect, Colin, with the giant heads?
Oh, the
Funkos.
I need a Funko Pop. So I see we're joined by more people right now. Hello Chuck. People. Hello, Eva. Hello, everybody. Welcome. And then a blow up doll. Oh yeah, I want a real doll modeled after me and my parts.
I like this name right here. Disco El Super Bisto.
There's a cool stocking stuffer for next year.
It is.
Yes.
April Hunter and enamel pins.
There you go. So here, I just thought we'd start off something interesting for you guys,
sure.
just to think about. Maybe you've heard this before, maybe you haven't, but here's a theory. So I think it was Alan Watts, but I'm not sure. And he said that if you could choose the perfect life, any life at all, you would be living the one you're living right now. And I know we're all going, no. But he breaks it down. You want to hear it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So he said, okay. He goes, so first what we would do, obviously, is we would go out and eat. And if you could do anything you want, you'd go out and eat all the good foods you want. You would drink whatever you want. You would have as much crazy sex as you could possibly have.
Yeah, I'm like this.
Yeah, you'd go do all the shopping. You do all the stuff we can't do, right? You redo your house. You buy 6 houses. You do anything and everything you've ever said would be the perfect life. You would do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, living that perfect life might get boring because we're humans and we get bored. So you're doing all this stuff. You've had every possible kind of sex. You've eaten every possible kind of chocolate and wings and everything else. And then one day you might say, you know what? I think I'm going to give myself a challenge. I think today I'm going to see how I do with having the air conditioning break. And then you're going to challenge yourself. You're going to say, all right. And you get through that. You're like, oh, all right. This was not that much fun, but I got through this. And I didn't lose my shit. And I got the air conditioning fix and I did it. I feel accomplished. That was kind of fun. All right. I'm going to give myself a different challenge tomorrow. I'm going to see what it's like to have to, I don't know, sit in line for like 20 minutes to pick the kids up from school and have them freak out and throw a tantrum the whole way and see how I handle that. And then his theory is we would be so bored with this perfect life that eventually we would keep giving ourselves challenges over and over again to get back into life to grow, that we would end up exactly where we are right now.
Do you think that has something to do with why you'll see like A-list celebrities just married to or dating just normal people? Because it's kind of like where they're so like, you're an A-list, everybody's giving you everything you want. You're so
Yeah.
used to that lifestyle, but then it's like, all right, you date like a Big Ray and you're like, all right, he's the humble New York guy. He keeps me down to earth. He's
Yeah, maybe. It's
Well-
possible. Or maybe they just get along, they click, or maybe that regular person just sees them for who they are and treats them, calls them on their shit. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, there could be a bunch of reasons. And hello, Keon, what's up? Or Wolf. Oh,
that
So
does
what-
make a lot of sense though, that you would get bored of this, just
yeah.
having everything at your fingertips. And,
Yeah, but
and
no.
everything being so perfect.
See, I don't agree with that. And the reason I don't is because you wouldn't know any better. It's kind of like like let's go back to the Garden of Eden, right? Let's go back to Adam and Eve.
Oh, wait. And by the way, Larry, hello, Larry. He's saying, no, they marry like that so they can keep the money in the prenup. But you can do that if you marry somebody who's equally or higher than you, too.
Well, let's go back to the Adam and Eve story, right? All they knew was good stuff, and they were content and they were happy, right?
Mhm.
Oh, but you know what? You're right. I just proved myself wrong. You know why? Because Adam and Eve wanted to become wise like God. So they wanted to challenge themselves. They wanted to be better. They weren't happy with perfection. You know what? I just talked myself out of disagreeing with you guys, because it's true.
It's just, you don't have to agree or disagree. It's just one of those things where you just wrap your head around it for a minute and be like,
But it's
They
true,
had
like-
everything, Ray, and they
Right.
were like, "Yeah, let's take a bite of this apple and see
Right,
what
let's
happens."
have
okay,
more.
okay. Oh, we got Corgos. Hang on. We got to,
There's a lot.
you throw some bits for bits there. Bitties for titties.
She showed me her boobies, and I like them too. Boobies.
So,
Boobies.
So here's another human nature theory. Since you brought it up, I call it the Eve's apple theory, and I liken this to dieting too. Speaking of New Year's resolutions, good transition, right? So when you tell somebody they can't have something, that's all they want. So whenever I do a diet for somebody, I always tell them, I'm like, you can have anything you want, just have less of it. Because the minute you say you can't have carbs, you can't have sugar, you can't have alcohol, you can't do this, you can't do that, they're just like, oh my God, that's all I fucking want. I'm going crazy.
Right.
So you tell them you can have it. Just limit yourself, have less of it. Use smaller plates, do this, do that, have 2 bites of it, whatever. And then they can kind of handle it. But if you tell them you can eat from any place you want in here, just not that apple tree. I call it, Eve's apple theory.
Oh, it's
human nature to want what we can't have. That's why in every relationship I've ever been in, I always tell whoever I'm dating, do whatever you want. I'm giving you enough rope to hang yourself. If you feel the need that you have to, you really want to have sex with other people and that's what you want, I'm just asking you to be honest with me. That's all. Just be honest with me. So that is the one thing I'll ask of you. It's just total brutal honesty. And we can figure it out after that. But do whatever you want. I want you to be happy.
See, Colin, so if you want to go to the truck stops, to the bathrooms there every week, do it. Just do it less. Can you cut back at that?
I make so much money doing it though, right? That's
You
why
make-
I
you
do
have-
it more.
You have to pay them?
No, I make. the money.
Oh, you make the money.
I
Oh,
make
okay. All right. That is interesting though. So funny thing. Like I remember because I was like 400 pounds before. I don't know if you know that back in the day. And the hardest thing was not eating bread. And I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know why this is. Like I could go without bread. Like bread is not like one of my favorite things in the world. Ice cream is. I love ice cream. That's one of my, but for some reason, when I couldn't have the bread, I saw commercials on TV of Big Macs with bread. I saw what is it? Was the Wonder Bread commercials? And I'm like, this is just white bread, but why do I want it so bad? I saw my my mom, the one that rubs the boobs on me. I see her buttering her toast, and I'm just like staring. I was like, what are you looking at? It's my bread. So it is weird, man, that as humans, want what we can't have. Same thing as the perfect life, man. You're right. See, now,
just a theory. And by the way,
Colin.
thanks for joining us, Alexa. I know it's late in Germany. Have a good night.
Good night, Alexa. She was on with us earlier.
Yes, she was.
She was on with us earlier.
You earlier? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. We had a show where we had Rick Victor from the Ascension from the WWE on with us, and we were talking to him. She was on there.
Yeah, Alexa's like immensely helpful, and she's always been really, really good to us. We are so grateful. So thank you.
Very grateful.
Yeah, she's one of the good ones. So yeah, so that's just one theory I wanted to run by you guys. Let's see, is there another cool New Year fact that you guys might be interested in? I'm
interested in Colin's banana shirt. Did you get that?
My banana shirt?
Yeah, did you get that at the truck stop?
I actually got this as like a Christmas present or a birthday present like a year or two ago from like I think Abuelita gave me this. And she gave me this too.
Those are plátanos, they're not bananas.
She gave me this one too. She's like Colin lives in the 80s.
She's like, mijo, I want you to dress like
I feel like Zach Morris would have worn this on an episode of Saved by the Bell back in the day.
Actually, I think Zach Morris did wear that.
I usually wear this under the banana shirt.
Well, Screech wore the banana shirt.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
By the way, just want you guys to know there are gluten-free versions of almost every carb out there, and it's hit or miss, you know what I mean? But you can find some decent stuff.
So as someone who's worked in the food industry, I will say flour and dough is basically just Play-Doh, nature's Play-Doh.
Yes.
And so you can use its paste, you can use it for all kinds of things. So think about it.
It's paste.
We're baking that, and then we're putting that in our bodies and eating that type of stuff, right? True. So yes, it's very delicious, but I mean, I've played with it. You know, it's very sticky. It can be it's
so good.
Yeah, it's so good, but yeah, we're probably not supposed to be. It's like we're eating concrete, edible natural concrete.
Yeah, but gluten-free stuff, a lot of it's made from rice. So, and hey, Jay Reezy, man, what's up?
So, April, real quick, I'm glad that you shouted him out because he actually gave me a text yesterday. I might as well do this online, on air, on live, whatever. So basically, the end of January into February, it's what are we doing here? It's a
domestic abuse month.
Yes. So I wanted to have maybe Jay Reezy jump on with us for a couple minutes.
Yeah, he came on last year and helped us out with that.
To do that. So he wanted to come back on, and I told him, I said, well, no. I said, you have to send me nudes. And he's like, well, why? And I'm like, well, because I like you naked. And then we just went back and forth for 35 minutes.
That's perfectly acceptable.
And that's fine. So he gave me what I wanted, you know, and so he's coming on, I think, towards the end of the month. How do you feel about that? Cool?
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, Jay Reezy. Did it, buddy. I did it live. Thank you for the pictures. For
That's
4K.
Great.
4K Jay Reezy. Fantastic. So you want to talk about some more stuff?
Yeah, real quick, because we're gonna talk about what happened with Damar. So hang in there till the end because we're gonna have a lively discussion on that. But real quick, I wanted to read to you from Psychology Today. It's how to connect with your values. So a lot of people aren't doing something that they're really into, or they aren't living according to their values. So here's an interesting way to, what your values can do for you. It says, values are chosen qualities of being and doing, such as being a caring parent, being a dependable friend, being loving, loyal, honest, and courageous. They can be expressed with verbs and adverbs like teaching compassionately, and nobody who is actually compassionate uses the word compassionate, and giving gratefully. However, they're not actually goals. Goals are finite, and these are achievements. And once you reach them, you're finished with them. Goals are, you can figure that out. Values, on the other hand, are enduring, eternal guides to living. You cannot achieve a value. You can only manifest it by acting in accordance with it. So your values not only tell you where to focus your efforts and energies, but also provide you with a new source of motivation. So the pain you've had to endure along your journey becomes much easier to bear when it's in service of your goals and values. So if you, are living according to your values, you tend to do a lot better with your careers, with your relationships and things like that. And acting in line with your heart's deepest desires brings a deeper sense of fulfillment and vitality that no material wealth can match. So the values you choose are completely up to you. If you're unclear what these values might be and how to implement them, here are a few steps. So if you want to try these steps, here is a little exercise you can try. You can do it now, you can do it whenever, to figure out what matters to you and how to live according to that. So it's knowing your heart's deepest desires. So rate your life's domains. So rate from 1 to 10. 10 is the most important, 1 is the least important. So you write this down. So it's family, marriage, which is couples, intimate relations. That's number 2. Number 3 is parenting. Number 4 is friends and social life. I'll repeat these, by the way. Number 5, work, career. Number 6, education, training. Number 7 is recreation and fun. Number 8 is spirituality. Number 9 is citizenship, community life. Number 10 is physical self-care, diet, exercise, and sleep. Number 10 is environmental concerns. And number 11 is art, creative expression, and aesthetics. So you have family, marriage, couples, intimate relations, parenting, friends, social life, work, career, education, training, recreation, fun, spirituality, citizenship, community life, physical self-care, which diet, exercise, sleep, environmental concerns, art, creative expressions, and aesthetics. So rate what's important to you, each one of those things, on a scale of 1 through 10. So what you're going to do is look at the consistency of that and obviously write down your values. So anything 6 or less is obviously, you need to rethink that. That's
It's like right in the middle.
Off your chart. Yeah.
Right.
So you want to look at all your 9s, 10s.
Right.
So
goodbye, Colin. Sorry.
So ask yourself, what do I care about in this particular area on your 9s and 10s? What is really important to me in these areas? So say if you rate recreation and fun as a 10, like this is important to you to do this. What in that area of having fun and recreation, what is important in there to you? So, and what can I do to manifest more value in my life? So write down all of that and then start really looking at that paper and try and figure out how to live more according to your values and figure yourself out. And if you live in line with your values, it's figuring out what really matters to you. Hopefully that is maybe helpful now that we're in the new year, to maybe get you on a course that some people aren't always aligned. Perhaps this might help them get aligned a little better. Maybe they're doing something they're not happy with. Maybe they're thinking about a side gig and they're not really sure. Do I take the side gig? Do I not take the side gig? Right. They do this thing. They're like, oh, I don't know if the side gig is going to work for me. It might just actually wear my batteries down instead of recharge them. Maybe it's perfect. You know what I mean?
So, Colin, the whole truck stop thing that we were talking about earlier, what number is that for you?
That's probably
on a
hard
scale
9.
of 1 to 10.
Hard 9.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, I mean,
really hard.
I prefer hard 10s,
It's a hard.
April, but it's definitely a hard 9. Yeah.
So, hi, Brian. Thanks for joining us, Canada Spaceman. Hello. Oh, I said hi to you early. Never mind.
It's fine. He's from Canada. They're very polite.
Look here, Canada Spaceman has a good.
Sorry, not sorry.
Has a good New Year's. First you get the cocaine, then you get the money, then you get the women, then you get the power. I guess that's how it works in Canada. Is that what Trudeau did?
Got it?
Is that what it works?
That's probably what Trudeau did.
And Jay Weezy, man, are you asking if you subbed?
Big wig, hello.
Yeah, no kidding. So let me ask you, April. What are some of the lower numbers that you would care to share with us?
What do you mean, as far as these?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a parent, but I don't
Well, you
know.
don't have to be a parent. I
I don't
think
know.
this. I think this
Puppy
works.
parenting. Puppy parenting.
I'll be honest
maybe.
with you. What you said right now, I think works in life in general. You don't have to be a parent.
Okay.
I think just in life in general, it will work for everybody, even Canada spacemen.
Okay. I'm not sure what you mean as far as what.
So, are there any things in your life right now that you consider to be lower? Like, I don't know, maybe you watch too much TV and you want to get rid of that. You want to start reading books more.
Yeah, too much social media. Way too much. I find that it can be a time suck. It can be an energy suck. It can be a vortex of
negativity.
Anger at times. I think a lot of people are. There are only two emotions, right? Fear and love. Because the opposite of love is fear. And from fear comes anger. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to understand that when somebody's really, really angry and calling you names and things like that, it comes from a place of fear.
Well, they're sad or sadness.
Yeah, hurt people, right?
I'm not going to put it over as much, but, April had an altercation on social media. And
let's talk about that.
And I jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is that, the person that was being hurtful, and they're like, oh, well, April made a statement, and they're like, well, I'm not going to take any advice from a model / wrestler / somebody who has fake boobs. And I'm like, dude, first and foremost, the guy is more than likely living in his mother's basement or his grandmother's basement. So
I love how he took a thing he wrote down. And he's like, what did he say? He's like, I'm going to look at your qualifications. He's like, fake boobs, model,
right?
Pro wrestler. He's like, yeah, you've got no qualifications. And I'm thinking to myself, I love how you just briefly you completely left out university, podcaster, analyst, and author.
Right. No, and this comes from
just leave that stuff out.
This comes from somebody who obviously faked an account because Leon. Let's just call him Elon Musk, doesn't exist.
Right.
You feel me
about that?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty positive. So this person is hiding behind that that fake account, and they think that there's
a lot of that.
They gain strength. They feel like they gain strength, but they're lying to themselves. They're lying to themselves for that brief minute. They got a reply, and this is where we have to be careful. They got a reply.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
But they got the reply from the model / wrestler /
fake tits.
Right. Who in real life, Mr. Musk, you would probably, I would say you would definitely not have the testicular fortitude to do that. And I started thinking about something also, April. Who's to say that this Mr. Musk guy, Leon, let's just call him Leon, wasn't in fact a female who maybe a bit jelly?
Well, who's to say he's not a sock puppet account? Because so let's realistically talk about what's going on here. So I'll tell you. I'll read you the tweet that I put up. So we're going to talk about what happened with Damar, and we're going to try and do it in the most analyzing and neutral way possible.
Right. It's conversation. We're talking about it.
And we want you guys to talk about it also, so we can see what you think. We want to hear what your opinions are. But what happened was I put up a tweet, and it really, really angered people. And it was a tweet after reading multiple doctors' accounts and cardiologists' accounts on their perspective of what they thought happened. And watching a YouTube video of another doctor who made a video 5 seconds after it happened, and claimed it was or was not something that he probably wouldn't know. So here's what I said. The NFL hired a doctor who incidentally commented on lots of other athletes who had collapsed in various sports. My friend was able to track down other videos that he did that were exactly the same. And in his opening statement, he said immediately that this was not related to the vaccine. There's no way. Mm-hmm. Now, this video, he went on to say it was a diagnosis that was so extremely rare. I'm not going to pronounce it right because I honestly didn't pay attention to it because I thought it was not real. You guys want to say the name?
Conolingus? Something?
Yeah, it's
What
like
happened?
Corda's.
In 20 years of wrestling.
You know what? Screw it. We'll call it cornucopia.
Right. In 20 years of wrestling, I think I've seen one person get it. I think it was Jerry Lawler.
I'll look it up.
And he even tweeted out about that after the play and saw it and everything. He's like, that's happened to me before.
Yeah. So,
but again, he was in his advanced age. He's not a 24-year-old athletic machine.
That's the thing. This particular diagnosis happens to less than 15 people a year. Fewer than 15 people a year. And almost all of them are under the age of 20. So, yes, thank you. Comocorditis.
It's actually it's what is it? What is it?
Yeah, somebody put it up. Thank you. Thank you, Targaryen.
Comatiocorditis.
Comocorditis.
So here's the thing with that. While I'm watching the video, which got 85 million views right away, and this guy's assuring us of what it is and what definitely didn't cause it. It frustrated me because I thought to myself, how could you possibly know what he has? And how could you possibly say what didn't cause it? Because there hasn't been enough time to do no tests, no data, nothing. How do you know? So it came off to me like he was a paid shill for the NFL and pharma to say these things. It completely came off to me that way. Yeah. So I started reading what other cardiologists were writing. Go ahead.
I was going to say that, people need to understand, and I think it's completely fair to say that the reason why when something like this happens that we don't automatically say, yep, that doctor's on TV, I believe that doctor, is because we've been lied to so much. Yep. Especially over the last 4 to 5 years. It's just lie after lie after lie. Yep. Social media, it's like just lies from both sides. It sucks. And I think people are fed up of being fed lies. Mm-hmm. And
some people apparently are just fine with it. We saw that on.
You know what? We're
seeing that.
I don't necessarily believe that, April. I don't believe people.
I do.
What I'm saying is that I don't believe.
And I'll tell you why.
All right, but let me just say that I don't believe people totally believe everything, but because it's what they stand for, they're going to push the narrative anyway. So I'm sure, I will guarantee you, at least 60% of the people that believe that this has nothing to do with the vaccine, I bet you those people deep down inside, when they got that shot, they said to themselves, I wonder. Mm-hmm. Because that you do hear the other side, and you can't ignore everything. We're humans. There is curiosity. We're gonna wonder. So there's nothing wrong with asking a question. But go ahead.
So here are a couple of things I'm gonna run in before I read the tweet. Apparently, his doctor came out and said he was boosted on December 26th. He was also, I believe, a proponent. He was pro-vax, and I think he had things to say about Aaron Rodgers because he refused to take it. Facebook did a massive clean. They changed their algorithms to get rid of anybody who was suggesting we have a conversation about this. I think YouTube did as well. So they got rid of these dissenters. I'm temporarily banned, as are many people. A lot of us were talking about it. So it only shows one side of the story, I guess, now, for the most part. I think a lot of people don't want to know anything or think of anything because the fear that's under there. I mean, the fear could, if this was the shot, right? And if these sudden deaths that are happening, and they are happening, is because of the shot. And I say if, this could be a problem, a real problem, because the government can't walk it back. They promised us that it was safe and effective, right? And there's so many people that they coerced and forced and fired over this and segregated, this would start a mass panic. A mass panic. So there's no way they could admit it. They just couldn't. They can't. So the tweet that I wrote after reading several different cardiologists' opinion on what they saw, I said it is extremely irresponsible of the corporate-owned press to declare Damar Hamlin was not injured in some way due to the vaccine. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but the state, it's definitely not the jab, is clearly not truthful at this point without more data and tests. And I, on a place where I had more than 280 calories, or 280 calories. I love more than 280 calories. 280 characters. I said, we are really tired of being lied to. We're tired of it. So just be straight. Just be straight. Just be fucking straight. You know? So on the same day that Damar Hamlin died, another football player died.
He's not dead.
Sorry.
He's still alive.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's still alive.
All right.
He's in very they say his vitals are steady. He's still got a breathing tube down his neck, but they've got him to a stable somewhat. He's still in critical condition, but they're saying he's still in if you're having a machine breathe for you, you're probably not good, but anything apparently he's in an induced coma, and his vital signs are level now, right? I guess
thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
I think didn't his uncle come out and say that he did not actually, like, everything's machine, right?
Well, that, and they also have a guy who's his marketing rep who like hangs out with him, because this guy was like in the NFL. He was donating so much money. He's like one of those good guys of the NFL who takes a lot of his money and time and donates it forward and stuff like that. And he had a marketing rep, and apparently this marketing rep has been the one that's been doing all the rounds lately, talking about what's going on with him and his family and the types of things. He was the one that really was at the forefront of hitting, getting on the edge of this story, so the family can just rest and relax, and he would be the one to kind of take care, almost like a PR kind of guy. But he apparently he spends most of his time with Damar, so they're very close in terms of knowing each other and that type of stuff. So
okay, and it's a very unfortunate situation. He is a very young and fit and healthy man. This is a very amazing career opportunity, and it sucks. And it sucks to, it was shocking to see. It was shocking even to see both teams come together and hug and cry it was all of it. The whole entire thing was shocking.
He's one of his charities that he's doing in April was a toy drive.
Yeah.
And he was just looking to get $2,500 for this toy drive. And everyone, instead of donating to like him, everyone has donated to this GoFundMe for his toy drive. Chris Jericho donated $5,000, but misspelled his name, and went and donated another $5,000 to spell his name correctly. So he donated $10,000, and then apparently now they're over $3 to $5 million, I think, somewhere in that range, with almost all the NFL players donating to this. Everybody's just like, for the guy only wanting to get $2,500, while he was, before this tragedy happened and everything, now they've got almost $3 or $4 million that can go towards this toy drive, so that they can really make, an impact and things like that for kids in the future.
Sorry about that, guys.
Awesome. That's all right. Welcome back.
My internet got weird.
Well, let's okay. And I want to mention something else. We're going to talk about a possible fix and a solution at the end of this too, because you don't talk about these things with a problem without talking about what you can do to try and sort your own self out if you have also had these injections and you're concerned as well about, oh boy, like, what the fuck. Let's talk about that after this too. But I don't understand why we can't talk about the vaccine. I don't understand why it's being so heavily censored. Why can't we have these discussions? And we can't even seem to admit that we have a problem. So how are we supposed to come together to fix this problem? Why is this so not allowed? So I feel like it's, it's like I said, it's panic, it's fear. It's the government and the medical community worried, and you have two camps on that one. You have the greed and profit camp, where they want to shut everybody down because their main thing was to make as much money as possible and just get it out there. Then you've got the conspiracy camp, where they say this is a depopulation thing, and they created COVID to introduce the vaccine. And who at this point, you can't rule out anything. Well, let's go with the gentler version, where perhaps it was just pure greed and profit. And they're like, oh, we fucked up. But they can't say we fucked up.
Right.
So, and they're going to, every one of these things are not reported to VAERS. I understand they're starting to take the VAERS reports and remove them too. They're covering things up. I mean, the fact that they went so fast to say it's definitely not that tells us that it's definitely probably that.
Even I convinced,
or there's a possibility.
Even I convinced myself during the pandemic, when they came up with the vaccine, right?
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, like, oh, great, a vaccine. This will cure it, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, people were saying, oh, but they made, it's too fast. Usually a vaccine takes, at least
5 to 10 years.
Right. But then I said to myself, no, wait a second. But the last time they had to go through something like that was 50 years ago, with the polio and all that stuff. So I said, how far have we advanced? So I'm convincing myself. I'm listening to everybody tell me that no, we're so far advanced than what we are. Of course, we can make a vaccine in how many months was it? Was it a year?
It was like less than a year. Yeah,
it was
less than a year.
A few months. Yeah,
a few months. And so now, the chances statistically of them not doing it right are very high, and for us to say that, for us to question that, I think is okay. I read that thing that you sent me, by the way, with the Facebook.
Yeah.
How it said that it was. Did you read it on air?
I read the tweet, the original tweet. I didn't read the Facebook one.
No, not the tweet. This is when April, right? She posted this thing. It says, and I quote, "Your post goes against our community standards on misinformation that can cause physical harm."
Physical harm, yeah.
Huh?
Words deal physical damage now, Ray. You know that, right? Like I'm physically attacking you right now.
Yeah, and
on your face.
There was no option to dispute that.
No.
Like they grayed that option out. And light skin Targaryen says something here.
I'll put it up here. I said the
okay.
people. It says people don't.
Okay. People don't want to talk about the vaccines because every side is running around like they're right or won't listen to the other side, or they don't have a sense of empathy or respect for the person's decision. Yeah, that's partly true. The other part is we've dealt with so many lies and so much censorship. I mean, they have flat out deplatformed licensed cardiologists and virologists and doctors who have tried to warn us. Why would they do that? Why are they doing that? And why are they calling them quacks? And why are they going out of their way to demonize things like early treatments like ivermectin and HCQ and all these things that they are now saying work and could have saved millions of lives? We don't know. No one knows. You say, trust the science. The science let us down. You got to trust the silence or follow the money. What the hell's going on?
The biggest red flag should have been when the government was like, yeah, you can't be sued. Moderna, Pfizer, y'all can't be sued for what is in these vaccines. It's okay. Y'all do whatever y'all need to do to get them out of here. That was really your first red flag, to just be like, okay, there's not something that we should be taking seriously here.
Colin, you ever heard of this? You ever heard of this guy, Officer Tatum?
No.
He has a YouTube channel. I'm actually a big fan of his. If you guys, I never put over anything. Mm-hmm. Check him out. I think he's pretty smart. And he did a video today where he was talking about this situation that we're talking about with the kid Damar, the young 24-year-old NFL player, and he censored himself. Every time he said the word vaccine, it had a like a needle.
Because you'll be taken down.
Right, and he did it. I mean, you could clearly know he's saying vaccine, and he said vaccine 20 times, censored himself. Why do we have to do that, though?
Yeah. I've seen people go like they do all these things. Like I haven't bothered, but apparently YouTube will take it down, Facebook will take it down, like all these social media places will take it down.
It's the algorithm. It's not they just set it up to look for these words, and then they take your videos down based
I'm
on
surprised
the
this
bot,
video
the
hasn't
bot
been
that
taken
watches
down
your
yet.
video.
Shush, don't call no, don't goat mouth us. Shh.
I'm just saying though. I mean, it's weird. Like I never have issues like I'm having right now during a show like this. You have no idea what I'm going through. You see me like kind of like going back and forth and moving things around. I'm having problems, but so far so good.
Well, I mean, a lot of this didn't make any sense. I mean, honestly, like I remember saying to somebody, like they were giving us 900 days of propaganda and pressure, and people were like, "Get it, get it, get it, get it," and I was like, "I'll get it when they take liability for it because I don't have family. I'm not married. I don't have kids to take care of me. So if something happens to me and I get sick or something happens, I want to know that I can sue and have enough money to take care of myself. You know,
Well,
if I end up neurologically messed up and I can't work for the rest of my life, what happens?"
So, not enough people are talking about the New York State Supreme Court ruling. April, you don't hear anything about that now. You heard the big yay when all the people that didn't get the vaccine are going to get their jobs back, plus back pay, plus all of this.
Right.
But the underlying story of all this great things that they're getting is that the New York State Supreme Court ruled that the vaccines do not work, and the mandate that New York had in place to keep these people out of their jobs, it was illegal and was not done. And that's why these people won back pay and all these other things. But they're still they're going to force your kids to take it. They're going to force all these other people to take it. And what happens when something happens to your child and you go to court and you use that New York State precedent now to sue your local school board, to sue your local government, to sue the state, to sue the, whatever you need to sue, because there's now legal precedent that the vaccines do not work. There is legal, and that's really the only way that you fight the system is through legal
channels. Yeah. And a lot of it's precedents. That's a big deal.
And cool, awesome dude 24. Don't ever apologize for flooding. With
we love bits. So thank you.
All right,
so,
sorry, man.
Sorry if I'm not flexing my titties enough.
Boobies, and I like them too.
And hi, Jamie. Welcome. So you guys, you know more about football. You know more about all this stuff. So rather than talk about the possibility if this is or is not the vaccine, tell me what you guys saw and what your opinions are with all of this. And I'll tell you at the end, remind me, don't let me forget. I'll tell you at the end what some possible solutions are or things that can help people who have taking. This is the mRNA vaccine. This is not Johnson & Johnson, because that was propagandized. We're not hearing anything at all about Johnson & Johnson. So this is just mRNA. This is Pfizer, Moderna. So I'll let you guys know what I have heard might help that people can start doing.
Colin, you want to jump in real quick?
Yeah. So I was actually watching the game at work the other night, and you saw the play. They showed the hit. It looks like a routine, normal hit. You see these kind of hits all the time. Mm-hmm. And when they talk about it, you're trying to go back and watch. Like I rewinded it a couple of times, watched in slow motion to see where like maybe he got hit in the head, because the way he stood up and kind of got woozy, it made you think that there was some kind of concussion or something like that. But having been a fan and a watcher of MMA for so long, the way that he just fell over and his hands were just up in the air, propped up, like he was clearly unconscious, out. Whether they had to restart his heart, there was something seriously not good there, right? And you see the players know, because you see people, they see how many times, Ray, we've watched football for how long? How many times have we seen hits where guys are just laying there and you see concern, but you don't see players acting like this.
Yeah,
like
it was crazy.
Yeah, the players on the field could really tell that either the life was gone out of this guy or something was not right with how a normal concussive hit like that happens, or like we saw with Antonio Brown, he got completely knocked out for like 2 or 3 minutes out on the field.
Well, Colin,
they never bring ambulances out on the field like this. It's
Colin,
very rare that
this is the first time, and I think a couple of other podcasts have mentioned this, the first time ever that anyone received CPR on the field live, ever. Me also, I played football, I played baseball, I boxed, I did a little bit of everything in my younger days. And
I'm just gonna edit. What do you call it? The screen too. Same doctor.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yeah,
That's the guy that popped.
same.
You know, it's so funny when you want to hear something funny. Is this the guy that you were talking about, the doctor?
Yeah, he apparently is willing to be paid to say anything. And by the way,
Incredible.
another NFL player died the same exact day. 35 years old, collapsed.
And a soccer player.
Yeah. So
Professional soccer player.
the Jacksonville Jaguar player died, heart issue, just collapsed, and he was a very, very pro-vax. As a matter of fact, he said that people that didn't take the jab should go to jail.
So what I was going to say was I've been hit so much in my lifetime. I've been hit in the chest. I've been hitting, and there is such a thing as that cardio, you know, whatever the gimmick is called. That is a possibility. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that's impossible. The fact that it is like 1/10 of a millionth of a chance that this guy, that would happen to this guy. I saw the hit also, Colin. I watched it over and over and over again. I did see the guy lean his shoulder into into Damar, and Damar kind of like they crashed together, and I could see how that impact may have caused something like that. I don't want to rule that out. I don't think that's fair to rule that out. With all that being said, I'm going to speak on for me personally. Okay. Me being a former athlete, I've never had so many physical problems in my life after I and this is my personal, after I got the shot. I'm suffering from joint pain in my hands. I'm suffering from joint pain in my hands. I'm only 46, guys. I'm not that old. I may look older, but I'm not. I'm suffering from pain in my elbow out of the blue. Just after I took the shot. My Achilles tendon in my left leg, all of a sudden now is like out of whack. Everything is hurting now. I get out of bed and I'm in terrible pain. And this has been escalating. And, you know, I was messaging Ben back and forth, and I said, man, like, I don't feel like myself. Oh, also, all of a sudden now I'm on blood pressure medication. Bro, I've been 400 pounds in the past, and I was only 31 when I was about 400 pounds. I didn't have to take blood pressure medication. I didn't have this thing where my heart feels like it's fluttering. Like, what is going on? But it's definitely not the vaccine, right?
It's definitely not.
And
It's
you're
never
getting
that.
older, Ray. You're getting older.
Bullshit, dude.
That's all that it is.
Yeah, no shit. But I'm only 46.
You walk everywhere in New York. You don't ride in a car. You're not very sedentary. It's totally not the vaccine, right?
No. So this is and then now if I'm saying this, I'm wrong for just maybe it could be. I'm worried. I'm seeing all these prime athletes just dropping dead. What about me, a 46-year-old schmuck, you know, from New York that you know, I'm not as active as I used to be. So, man, April, you asked us watching, you know, we watch sports. We watch all type of contact sports. Pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Look at the bumps those people are taking. Look at the hits they're taking.
That was my point. Like,
Especially
so the
90s.
doctor was saying, and I saw a couple comments here where there have been multiple, you know, guys, people in the chat are saying, doctors are saying this happens all the time. You know, on ESPN, they're having people say that, and no, it doesn't happen all the time. And, you know, if it did happen all the time, it would happen in pro wrestling and MMA, because those guys and girls are hit in the chest every night of the week. We would have this situation happen once a month. And
You've seen this more in
and
football,
hockey
April.
and hockey. So you want to talk about a group of people that get hit in the chest, kicked in the chest, kneed in the chest, gored in the chest, shouldered in the chest. This happens all the time. Thrown and put on the ring post on the chest. I can't even tell you how many times I've been hit. I was chopped by low key in the chest. I thought I was gonna fucking die. Okay,
I
but I
have another
didn't.
theory, but don't let me forget.
Well, they say too, this happens a lot in baseball and hockey. Now, I can understand with the ball. Like, I mean, Randy Johnson killed
this
the bird.
does not
with
happen
the
all
ball.
the time.
Yeah, it doesn't. But and it's crazy that they're saying it happens all the time. But also in that same breath, they're saying that it's incredibly rare that this happens.
Because if you tell a lie enough times, it will become truth. It will stick. I mean, look at Napoleon.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Yeah, I know. I almost said that too. The Napoleon complex. Napoleon was of average height for his time. He was an average height Frenchman, 5'8", but the British couldn't stand what he was doing, so they decided to smear him in another way, and they said he was short. And even now, to this day, we call it Napoleonic complex. It's lasted for hundreds and hundreds of years. So if you keep lying about things, it will become truth. Go, Ray.
Now check this out. This is something I've been thinking about since yesterday, and I'm glad I looked down at my notes. What if they're covering something else up? And you can say to yourself, well, what are you talking about, Ray? Well, the NFL is at its highest popularity it ever has been, right, Colin?
Yes.
Numbers wise, money wise, so on and so forth. In pro wrestling, boxing, MMA, USADA, and MMA, steroid use. What if the NFL is covering up the fact that they are not properly testing for anabolic steroids? This is something that I was really thinking about. Maybe it has nothing to do with the vaccine.
Maybe steroids and vaccines don't mix.
Or maybe, but what I'm saying is that there is a possibility that the NFL making its money and the athletes right now doing things that they have never done before. What are the chances that even USADA being paid off in MMA, all these fighters using steroids? This is where I can see also a 24-year-old kid whose adrenaline is pumping. He just made a big hit on somebody on special teams, and then boom, he gets a heart attack.
But it's not just the NFL. Okay, so this is mostly where it's happening the most. Actually, has been in various parts of Europe and anywhere FIFA is popular, because FIFA was the first one, honestly, to mandate the vaccine.
Football.
So more now, from what I understand, from what I read, more athletes in FIFA died in a year plus since the vaccine has rolled out than in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020.
Wow.
All 4 years added together. Do athletes occasionally die on the field? Yeah, they do. Young athletes do occasionally die on the field. Do athletes occasionally have heart issues? Yeah, they do. It's not unheard of. But when you have athletes more dying in like 1 year than all 4 years before, and no one is even considering the possibility of the correlation. I'm saying the causation. I'm saying it's a correlation. We're giving everybody a vaccine. We're making them take it. And also they're dying. So, when you got 1 + 1, but you're saying, this is definitely equaling 3. And some people out there are saying, I'm pretty sure that equals 2. And they're saying, you're a conspiracy theorist. 1 + 1 = 3. We're going to censor you on the internet because 1 + 1 now equals 3 from here on out.
Hey, Winona.
Oh, Winona. Hello. So, there's so much dodgy stuff.
But I don't want you to dismiss the whole steroid thing.
Of course not.
No,
of course not.
Because you're right. Maybe the vaccine and the steroids don't mix, but the NFL has been making so much money hand over fist. Like if you look at Thanksgiving Day, the afternoon game between the New York Giants. Who the hell we play this? Who was it, Colin? The Giants. Anyway, doesn't matter. That was the highest rating afternoon game in NFL history for Thanksgiving. People don't usually watch that game. They usually watch the later games for Thanksgiving. So, these people are making so much fucking money. They're going to do everything possible to keep that.
Protect that. And that's what it comes down to, the almighty dollar. They're going to protect all of this, all of their profits at the cost of everybody else. So whether that is the general public, whether that's their athletes, whether they don't care who dies. They don't care who gets stepped on.
Larry does make a good point here where he says that the propensity for heart issues is even more dangerous if you contract COVID, shot or not, which is true. They were saying that if you did get COVID,
of course,
and you would get the scarring in the lungs, they would see that in people that didn't get the vaccine and just got COVID, or you would see issues with the heart and other things like that. So it does leave you with lasting effects. So maybe getting the COVID and then the shot don't necessarily pair up as well either. Like Ray was saying, maybe the steroids, because look at, not to bring up wrestling, but Triple H had heart issues, and he was in wrestling at that
and,
time.
and weren't they big proponents of getting that jab, getting that that gimmick?
They let go a whole bunch of people.
Let's call it the gimmick,
And
so that way we don't get.
We're too late in now, but the too late in now. We should have planned this beforehand.
Yeah.
But the alleged rumor is that all of those people they cut were because they wouldn't get the gimmick.
Right.
Well, wasn't
Nia
Jax one of the ones that was against getting the vaccine, Ray? I think
the what?
Nia Jax against getting the vaccine, which is
well,
why
I mean,
was
at that particular time, like you couldn't travel with, you know what I mean?
Well, she was also fucking lazy. But that's the story for another day.
And Targaryen, they shoot athletes with cortisol, but cortisol is something they shoot everybody with cortisol. Everybody, like I've gotten short. My spine doctor will shoot me with cortisol. So I mean, it's like, you know.
But the Triple H thing, Colin, is very, very interesting. Again, WWE were huge proponents of getting the gimmick. What happened there? My camera was shaking. Oh, that was your boobs. Okay. Yeah, WWE is a huge proponent. Get that vaccine, get that shot. They wouldn't let people work during the time they had the whole, gimmick in the arena with the screens, no fans.
WWE also tests to Olympic standards now.
But do they though?
Mm-hmm.
You think Roman Reigns? I'm not a legend because I don't know Roman personally, but you look at that guy.
I think whatever he's doing, he gets legally through an endocrinologist because that's all they accept.
They do cutting edge stuff too. There's guys like I listened to a podcast. This was years ago.
Yeah,
right,
they do a lot of what are they peptide mixing
the
too.
Balco guy, the one that helped Barry Bonds. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about how the stuff that he was giving Barry at the time was cutting edge. And he's like, there's stuff now that's out that are beating tests and things like that. He was talking about they have a testosterone pill that they just do a little incision in the athlete's in his butt, put the little testosterone pill, and it dissolves over time so that the athlete gets testosterone over time, and it's virtually undetectable because you just make a little incision, put it in there, and then your skin just grows back over the incision. I mean, they got all these creams and all that type of stuff. I mean, it was very interesting to listen to, almost probably 10 years ago, 8 to 10 years ago, and think about now how fast things would have developed 8 to 10 years ago to now.
And Winona makes a point. She says she wonders as if a combination of multiple things that came together to create the perfect storm instead of one thing in particular. Fair. And you may not be wrong. My only point was to say that it is one thing or is definitely not one thing is 100% unprofessional, and it misleads the public. It misleads the public. It's a lie. It's a lie.
What do you say, Colin?
Until he comes out or his doctors and family come out and say exactly what it is.
And even then, we don't know if that's honest.
Yeah, even that's the thing. We've been lied to.
I mean, honestly, how much faith do you have in anything?
Oh, we are that abused spouse that got cheated on over and over. Baby, please come back.
And we have nowhere to go.
My penis just fell in her mouth.
It's not even like we can run off to Canada and see somebody else because Canada's even worse.
I mean, seriously, like what?
All right, space man.
We've been beaten emotionally, and not only emotionally have we've been beaten, we've been locked up emotionally and physically. For almost 2 years. Yeah. So fuck yeah. We're gonna question what's going on. It's human nature. I don't know. And by the way, yes, all right. I was mesmerized by her boobs. They were bound. What am I supposed to do? I'm a man.
So let me talk to you guys, because I honestly feel like a lot of the covering up and the not being able to have a conversation about these things is due, half to CYA covering your ass, but the other half due to a lot of fear. A lot of people are afraid. Even to the point where people in the same household, if you have one spouse who is jabbed because of work or whatever, and the other one who's not, they're like, don't talk to me about it. I had to get it. Like they don't want to deal with it. So obviously, and then here's the thing. This affects everybody. Even if you and your family or whatever, your immediate family opted out, everybody knows. And bye, Jay Hall. Thanks for being here. Everybody knows somebody and cares about somebody who has taken the vaccine. So we all have a vested interest in finding a way to make this work and keeping people alive and healthy. So we need to pull together and first admit there's a problem
Sure.
and then have the conversations. And as quick as this vaccine was developed, we need to quicker find a solution. Now they can put people out on the moon, and they can come up with a technology that's a chip that's this big. They can reverse the fucking mRNA. They can reverse this. They can reverse the mRNA. They can detox people. So here is what I feel, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm just giving you suggestions. Okay.
You're not?
Nope.
You're smart though.
I know.
Sexy.
Thank you. So, first off, I think this is really common sense and obviously obvious, but just in case, avoid high impact exercise. Don't do sprints. Don't do, if you have been, and again, this is an mRNA jab. The Johnson & Johnson, you're probably fine. But if you have taken the Pfizer or the Moderna, avoid the high impact exercises where you're boosting your heart rate tremendously and the high impact sports. So keep your exercise to a lower impact, walking, weightlifting, yoga, lower impact. No, don't stop the exercise.
No Canada's face, man.
Right.
Don't stop the exercise. No, choose things.
Eat more cheese.
Yeah, no, actually cheese won't kill you.
Eat more bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So keep
Chocolate.
your exercise levels to lower impact. Okay. So that's the first thing. Secondly, do heart healthy things. So if you're doing things that is not healthy for your cardio system, don't overload it, for fuck's sake. Do things that that your doctor's probably already told you. If you're already predestined to have issues, don't do those things. So, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Third, and this one's important, implement a baby aspirin on a regular basis, several times a week,
That
maybe
is
every day.
Great idea.
Add it in with your
Great
multivitamin baby aspirin. It's a blood thinner, a natural blood thinner. So not everybody can take a baby aspirin. So, if you're in a situation where you can't, but most people can handle a baby aspirin. So even if you only do it 3 times a week. So get that baby aspirin in you. 4, get a D-dimer test. D-dimer, D-I-M-E-R. A D-dimer test can detect microclotting.
What is that?
It's a test for microclotting. It can let you know ahead of time if you're starting to have coagulation so that you can head it off.
Interesting.
So it's a test for microclots.
Can you ask your doctor to like when you go for a regular checkup?
Yeah, you can request it. I believe they might even have over-the-counter options where you buy them, you do like a little prick or something, and you send them away. So I think they might have that type of thing too. So
that's cool. That's why I call Colin, by the way.
So I pulled up this Medline Plus website when I looked it up, and it says a D-dimer test looks for D-dimer in blood. D-dimer is a protein fragment that's made when a blood clot dissolves in your body. So that's how they test for it. They look for that leftover protein.
Okay. Right. So, and fifth, go to the website of Frontline Doctors. Might have to, look for them, but there's a Frontline Doctors vaccine injured protocol or spike protein cleanse protocol. So this is a holistic approach that you do for a couple of months, and it's like all natural things. Like one of the things is resveratrol, which you find in red wine. Another thing is ivermectin. Ivermectin binds, and it will help you naturally. I believe it's help you flush out, either flush out or stop the. I don't know how it works. Like I said, I'm not a frontline doctor, but the combination of what they recommend for you helps either flush out the spike proteins or keep them from being active.
I'm seeing detox used as a lot of words in the search for it.
And an additional one, which they may or may not suggest, is something called pine needle tea, which raises your own immune system. So
pine needle tea,
which is one of those wives' tales things that they say helps with the mRNA and the COVID, the spike protein. I don't know if it works, but it can't hurt to try. So again, we're not really getting any actual advice here from the medical community
Right.
at all. So these are things that I've picked up from other medical sites. I will say that Frontline Doctors has been ahead of the curve with everything, and pretty much everything they've said has been accurate. So they were the ones prescribing all the early treatment. They were the ones saying that COVID is actually 2 illnesses in one. The first 3 days it's a flu, so you have to treat it in the first 3 days before it goes into your system to attack your organs. So that's why they kept pushing the early treatment with the HCQ and the ivermectin and the antivirals. They've been ahead of all of this. So since they're the ones recommending this, they could very well be on the accurate path on how to make this work for you guys. So again, Frontline Doctors website, pine needle tea, low impact workouts, D-dimer test, baby aspirin. I think I'm missing something there.
Boobies.
That comes later. You can rewind this and see, but those are my suggestions for you guys. You should not have to live in fear. You should know that.
Oh, low impact workouts.
Yeah, I said that, low impact workouts.
Okay.
So you should not have to live in fear. Everybody made the best decision they could with the information they were given at that time. They were not fully informed. It is not fair for anybody to have to live in fear and worry. So we need to come together and have this conversation and try and get everybody healthy. That's my opinion on this.
Well, April, we got 14 minutes left on the hour and a half that we usually go. So is there anything else that you wanted to chat about before we kind of get out of here today?
Well, I didn't know if you guys were done with your assessment of everything that happens. So I kind of just cut in there to.
Oh, I mean, this is the thing with this situation. I think this is unfortunately going to be a situation where we're never going to know for sure what happened to this kid. Because even if they tell us the truth, we're always going to ask questions.
True. And we're going to be punished for asking the questions. We're
Right.
not allowed to ask the questions.
And Ray, the NFL has incentive to hide this stuff because this past year, they created a rule basically that all the teams, like if let's say an unvaccinated player or a game was canceled because someone tested positive and they had to cancel the game, that team that was the team that canceled the game or whatever would be liable to the person, the home stadium, a full day's pay of what they would have gotten if they ran that game that day. So, and they had to send all their numbers in preseason. So a place like Dallas, where Jerry Jones, literally he owns the stadium and almost the whole city block around the stadium, where he runs shops and all these other things, he would get close to $56 to $75 million.
Easy. That's one day.
A day. So imagine now you're a player in the NFL. Should I get the vaccine? Should I not? Oh gosh, now I'm going to be responsible for $56 million if I don't get vaccinated. Now, somebody like Aaron Rodgers, he's got the money. Aaron Rodgers is a superstar quarterback. He's towards the end of his career. He might have that.
Boy, did he take some shit,
right?
Didn't he? Wow.
He did, but a guy like a Damar or a guy who's just started out, who doesn't have a name, who's not this high caliber guy, they don't make that much money. Most NFL players live paycheck to paycheck. So you're gonna do what you got to do to get the jab, and this could be a black eye on the NFL if it does come out and say that it is somewhat myocarditis or vaccine related. But again, I'm with Ray. I don't feel like we're gonna ever know the truth. I don't, I think that if push comes to shove, it's always going to be, it's the hit. But then I've watched NFL now since I was 4, 5, 6 years old, and I've seen some devastating hits, and I've never seen this before in my life. So is this going to become a common occurrence now in the NFL that we're seeing this? And if it does become a common occurrence, then it's got to be, again, like you said, correlation. We didn't have this stuff happen before. All of a sudden now with COVID and the vaccines, players are getting hit and things are happening now that didn't used to happen before. So
right.
And just a quick update on this young man. Apparently, Damar Hamlin is showing signs of improvement. Thank God.
Good.
He's laying. They say that he's laying on his stomach to keep pressure off of his injured lungs.
Oh yeah, I guess naturally they would be collapsed, so I guess you would want them
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Right. So it says he's expected to remain under intensive care. So on and so forth, 24 is being treated. Yeah. So right now, obviously, he's still in critical condition. He's alive. Apparently, his breathing is improved. So I'm hoping this kid gets out of, comes out of this thing. Could you imagine though, if the kid comes out of this thing and he just gets on live TV? He's like, I shouldn't have never taken that gimmick.
Probably won't happen.
Then what?
Probably won't happen.
They've donated enough money to his charity that it won't.
6 million has been raised for his GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's the sad thing. I don't know if you know about this, April. This young kid is huge into charity and huge into giving back, and a very well spoken and very well liked young man. So and I'm in the New York area, so I know of this kid. So I just hope whatever did happen to him, that he improves. It says what does it say there, Colin? Bring that back.
It says if he's in a medical coma, they put him on his chest.
Right. Well, they had to put him in a coma, but apparently his breathing has gotten better and everything is starting to steadily improve. I don't think the kid will ever play football again, unfortunately, but he will be a spokesman for something moving forward, God willing. And if he gets him back on the field, that's the toughest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life.
Now, what does the NFL do if it's these hits that are causing this? Right now, Larry says flak jackets, but again, I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and he and all the other people that play in the NFL say that they try to wear the least amount of pads as possible, and even kickers like Pat made a joke that Adam Vinatieri was wearing like 8th grade high school youth football pads,
right?
Because they're the smallest things that you can possibly wear, so they're not
very
big and
cumbersome.
clunky. Yeah, they're not gonna. Players already try to wear
basically
the
they're dressed like Red Sonja, right? Yeah.
Bro, you know how hard it is to run in football? I was a fullback pretty much through high school, and it was not easy to run with all that shit on, because it's not only shoulder pads. You're wearing this gimmick. What do they call them? The leg guards. Yeah. It's like a whole bunch of shit you got on, man. It's hard to move. Flak jacket, I don't think they're ever gonna do that. What they may do is, what can you do? Because I remember when I was being coached, you were taught to go right through the middle of somebody, hit them right in the middle. I don't know.
That's the part where they're telling them they're supposed to hit too. They just changed all the rules.
Colin, what is the chance?
The NFL took a bunch of heat over the CTE and the concussions.
And now you can't hit nobody in the chest.
Now you can't hit anybody in the chest. How are you going to tackle somebody now?
They can't handle another.
I'll tell you who's behind this. I'll tell you who's behind this. FIFA's behind this. You want to hear conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Soccer is going to take over the world. Football, European football is going to take over the world. The NFL will go down. It won't exist in the next 10 years.
They don't ever really get hurt. They're just faking it.
Yeah, it's all a work, as we say in the wrestling business. We got 8 minutes.
Yeah,
guys.
I like what Big Wig said. Let's just give them swords and let them fight it out on the,
Swords?
Let's give them, old school arena. Throw some Christians to them.
You can do that. Oh, I'm Christian. I can't move the way I did. I would be
Christians,
a snack.
Never enough lions.
I would be that's not nice. I would be a snack for a lion right now.
Old arthritic Ray.
I'm not arthritic, God damn it. I'm not arthritic. Even though this finger right here, you see this finger right here?
Yeah.
You know how I broke this finger? I broke it
right on the crackhead on the
I was boxing in a boys club. We had like the Spanish Club tournament, and this kid, he put his head down. I cracked him right on top of the head, and I felt it. And I never went to the hospital because I had to play football the following week. So I just taped these together and just kept playing. What a dumbass.
Oh, I wanted to say before we close, in case you guys.
Here's a good question for you, April. Sorry,
what's that?
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
War Demon. He says,
out of all the knife edge chops you've taken, which one was the most painful?
I said that already. It was,
the one?
Loki. Yeah.
Was it Loki?
Loki. Yeah, he got me good. He bruised me.
I gave my wife a knife and chop to the ass the other day. She seemed to like that one.
So, and Winona says if he did have to take the vaccine per request of the NFL, and that's what caused the issue, shouldn't they then have to compensate him since all of this came out about the vaccine?
Not necessarily.
I don't know.
You gotta think the NFL is just as much a part of the machine as as anything else out there. So
yeah. And I wanted to say, as we're wrapping this up, in case you didn't catch earlier, I want to thank everybody who was good to me for Christmas. A lot of people were very, very kind and sweet and sent things. I had things to open for Christmas, so thank you. Nice. And my friend Jay Fife just made me an enamel pin. So I was showing this earlier, but I have a new enamel pin.
Nice and high def.
Yeah, it's very cool. I will have these available if anybody wants one. So I think that's super cool. They're kind of big too.
Still wondering why I clicked that picture behind and whatever.
Jerry, what did you send? Did you get stuff for you and your dog? Wait, did you send? Wait, what did you send, Jerry?
Jerry,
there were some stuff that you didn't know had names.
I got a few things that did not come with any sender tags, and it drives me nuts. It's like, how do I thank for this?
You know what you do? Why don't they hit you up on Twitter or tag us on the?
Give me a hint, and I'll tell you if I got it. Huh?
No. I said, why don't the people that send something that didn't leave a name or anything, hit us up on Twitter at the A Show.
Yeah, please do, because if you haven't heard from me, that means I probably got your thing and I didn't know I got it.
Yeah, I didn't get a banana shirt like Colin.
Dog treat and feather costume thing. A feather costume.
A feather costume. Maybe you didn't get it yet.
No, I think
the feather costume for you or the dog.
Be funny. If your neighbor's dog is wearing it.
Wait. That's from you? The feather wait, no. Was it the skirt? Was it the skirt in the thing? Because that came without a tag too. I did get, I don't know if, it came separate, so I don't know if I got the treats, but the skirt and the red and black came.
Vintage Wonder Woman costume, $600. Big wig, $28. Is that even a thing, or is this a rib?
If that's from you, yeah, I got it, and it fits, and it looks awesome. Thank you.
Hold on, bullshit. Prove it.
I know. I got to bring it over here and wear it. It's so cool.
All right, we'll get to work. Me and Colin will hold this down. All right, fine, whatever.
Yeah, we'll hold it down while you go check.
Oh, okay. So Jamie sent the skirt. Okay.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that would have sucked if your neighbor's walking around with a feathered thing for their dog.
Okay, so wait, did Jamie send the skirt and Jay Reezy sent the top?
He just said right here.
Between the two of you.
Victorian?
The feather shrug. Yeah, you guys, between the two of you, sent the whole outfit. Oh my God, thank you.
That's so cute. Jay Reezy, what the fuck did you send me, buddy?
I love it. Thank you.
He sent me a text message.
Yeah, it's like Victorian looking. It's like a collar and it's like black and red feathers. I love it.
April, I think to go along with the enamel pins, we have to get you a micro brawler next. And that's what these are. These are like little plastic. We need to get like an April mold of something like this done. These are really
I can see it with through the sword. Boom,
there's a company. There's a company that does Pro Wrestling Tees do that, or what's the other
well, these are called micro brawlers, but I think Pro Wrestling Tees has something to do with it. But
that's
so if you guys, if you really want to, hit April up and get a micro brawler made for her, that would be awesome. Wouldn't you like that, April?
I would actually. I think that's so cool. I pop when people put me into their wrestling games. Like, oh, I made a call. It's called a call, right? I made a call of you, and they'll send me the pictures, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so awesome.
I seen this match with April where she literally opened the girl's legs and just dropped an elbow right on her cooch. You were so freaking violent, dude.
That was recent, actually.
Was that recent?
That was a recent.
She opened the girl's legs and she just fucking reels back.
That was like around. I guess.
I heard like a squishy sound. It was like,
ow.
Apparently, I have to give you tips on how to be a millionaire, but also not lose it like I did, April. But I'm still in my palatial estate, so
you identify as a millionaire, right?
I do, a billionaire.
April, you want to go home with something? We're about to get out of here.
I do. I want to go. I was actually trying to find that picture you were talking about.
Take your time. Oh, which one? Were you giving the elbow drop? It was on YouTube. It
was on YouTube. You saw the match?
Was it on YouTube? Or was it a picture?
I don't know. Because
I've been going back. Like I was looking for some of my co-host matches. Like Ben, he's fucking rotten. He's fucking rotten, man. Who else? The
Vet.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Holy shit! Who is that?
So far off
to?
I think it's Reagan. Reagan.
President?
Reagan.
Oh
no. Is it Kelsey Reagan? Sorry. Yes, President Reagan.
Oh fuck, Will.
Kelsey Reagan.
Let me start playing.
Which is funny. Here's a funny story about that, actually, real fast. So, one of my friends is a photographer, and he's like, "Hey, can I use your house? Because I have a pool." I'm like, "Yeah." So I didn't know the girl, so he brings Kelsey Reagan over, and she's doing her thing with her thong and her little outfit. He's like, "I want a place that's private where she can feel comfortable." So he'll occasionally bring girls over, and I direct their shoots. Excuse me, I'm battling a cold. So I'm like, I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah, okay, lift your cheek, pull this, pull that. And you guys might have seen Kelsey's pool shoot. So, having a good old time doing this thing, blah, blah, whatever. 2 months later, I'm standing across from this girl in the ring. And I didn't realize it was the same girl. Like, her hair was different and she has her clothes on, right? So,
and she has her clothes on. She's not naked.
I didn't, right, exactly. I didn't even know the same girl. So
pull your pants off real quick. Do I recognize you?
The guy's like, oh, in this corner, April Hunter, and this one, Kelsey Reagan. I'm like, I literally stopped. I'm like, I go, oh my God, that's fucking you. So I go, and we're locking up. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was you. Hi, how you doing? So
there's a fucking talking,
I'm like, I didn't recognize you from my pool. She's like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, I know you probably think I'm really stupid right now. I'm so sorry.
I'm about to suplex you. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
So you guys were conversating and calling the match on the fly?
Yeah. I'm like, you look really different. Did you have different hair? And she's like, yeah, it was totally different. And I'm like, oh my God, it looks so good. So I'm gonna have this cold conversation when we're in the ring. I'm like, just stay still. I'm gonna do this. Your hair looks awesome.
That's so fucking awesome.
That's a question we need to ask the vet next time you're on the show with him. How often that happens in the ring? Where that's hilarious.
It happens a lot. We have conversations a lot.
Yeah.
It was like, or we'll be like, oh, look, and my favorite one too. Oh my God. I'll just tell you this real quick. So we were doing the Super 8 competition, which I won. So it was me and I forgot who it was. I want to say Beth Phoenix, right?
Ooh, love Beth Phoenix. Awesome.
Oh yeah, like it was a high quality card that day. It was on that. Pretty much everybody It was like Tracy Brooks and I think
awesome.
Gail Kim and
Beth Phoenix. God.
Yeah, it was like we're all working. Ariel. It was a good group. So we saw a dirt sheet writer that neither of us could stand. So we were just like, oh, look.
I think I know who it is already.
We were like, oh, look, it's that motherfucker. And I was like, I said to her, I'm like, shoot me into him as hard as possible.
Yes.
So we went on the ground. She pushed me into him and I went flying. I hit him so hard. I knocked his chair over. I knocked us both over. I knocked his chair over and I broke his ribs.
Did you break his vagina? Oh, his ribs.
No, I broke 2 of his ribs.
Now I know exactly who it is.
And he never let me live it down after that. He's like, you broke my ribs. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, good for you. That shit makes me smile.
If you fuck with me, I will get you. And it will. You just don't know when
Bill
it's
Apter
coming.
was never the same again after that.
Leave Bill alone.
You just don't know when it's coming.
After the match, you got Bill Apter. He's like,
we'll see you at the matches.
I love Bill.
Bill's the best.
Does anybody not like him?
No, I don't think so.
I love Uncle Bill.
Yeah, we actually lost. We lost one of our favorite photographers recently, and it's like, I know we're just losing people. I don't want to leave on a down note, but anyway, there we go. Funny story, and that was Philly actually. You can get away with that stuff in Philadelphia. So hope he never sees us. Anyway. Yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you, Colin, for joining us again. 2 in a row. Oh, my God. So we appreciate it. And we will see you guys next Wednesday. Yeah. And the rules. Everybody has to pack flex on out, right? Yeah. And thank you for
shake
joining.
These bananas.
Yeah. Shake your bananas, baby. And thanks for joining. Thanks for being a member here. And you can use your Prime account to be on our channel. So thank you, and join us on patreon.com, the A Show, and you can see all our shows. And it's fun to go back and see the ones when we first started and see what we were talking about and our little conspiracy theories and see how much of that is actually true. So we'll peck flex you out of here. So thank you. Are you shaking? We're not shaking.
Oh, we're shaking, all right, baby.
We're shaking. You're shaking.
Shaking these nanas.
Yeah.
Bye, you guys.